Are you guys ready?
Yeah.
You ready to
Does
roll?
my hair look okay?
It looks perfect.
Looks better than mine.
No, you have naturally curly hair.
Yeah, well, I had to brush it out, and this is me. I slept on it. I didn't even think this through. I did shower, but I showered last night.
Yeah, I
it's
think I
matted.
showered.
Okay.
That's so scary accurate.
Okay. So, you ready?
Yeah.
All right. So you grew up in North Carolina, correct?
Mm-hmm.
You want to tell us a little bit about?
The better Carolina.
It's better. The better Carolina.
My absolute best friend in the world is from South Carolina, and I always tell her that North Carolina is the better Carolina, and then we get into a fight.
I love that.
Yeah, I grew up in North Carolina. There's really not much to that story.
Is that right?
I grew up in like the smack dab middle UNC Chapel Hill area.
Okay.
I hate sports.
Me too.
So like every time someone's like Tar Heels, I'm like I don't care.
Oh.
Or like what's even worse is they'll wear like a Duke sweatshirt and like that's their rival and they're like,
Sure.
oh, I bet you like so mad, and I'm like I really I
don't care.
I don't care. I really don't care. It was cool. I grew up in a very supportive household. My parents were never like pushy. Like they would like put me in piano lessons. I did it for like 4 months and then was like, this is boring. And then I did soccer for like 4 games. And then I was like, this is boring.
And this is when you're early on in your
like, you know,
childhood?
last week.
No, but I mean, like, how are we talking? High school? You know,
A lot of the lessons were in like elementary school, middle school. And then
Okay.
by high school, my parents were like, you do you do what you want.
Nice.
Sure.
Yeah.
I did color guard, which is like a lot of people don't know what that is. Like the flag girl.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, we had that at our high school.
Excuse me. But like we spun rifles and sabers
Oh,
and
yeah.
lots of bruises and band camp, which is fun to like say to people.
This one time at band camp?
Yep. I forget that that happened though, honestly. I feel so old. Yeah. I just grew up in Chapel Hill, followed an ex-boyfriend to college in UNC Charlotte, and that lasted all of a couple months, and then we broke up, and I was studying communications and a minor in Spanish, and then one day I woke up and was like, wow, Anna, you are depressed. Like I dropped out of like 2 or 3 of my classes. There was like fast food containers everywhere. I'd gained a lot of weight and was just like, I gotta drop out because I'm wasting money, I'm wasting time, and I'm just not happy. And then the whole social media thing fell into place, and now I'm here.
yeah. So you were when did you really realize that you could sing? Like, were you early? Was that really early on in your life?
I mean, growing up, my parents and friends and family would always be like, "Oh, Anna has such a good voice," and I'm like, "I don't know what you're talking about. I sound like everybody else."
Mm-hmm.
Then it probably wasn't until high school when I realized, like, oh, you know, like I can kind of sing, but never. I was like a starry-eyed kid. I was like, I want to be a singer when I grow up. And then I turned 18 and had no idea what I wanted to do. I was like, you've done nothing to cultivate this. And so I was just like, okay, this is not for me.
Yeah.
And then when I started putting videos on the internet, people were like, dang, she's good. I'm like, oh, okay, I can hear it. I can hear it. And I mean, I'm really selfish. I just kind of sing for myself. I write music for myself. And it's just like an added bonus that other people like it.
Yeah.
It's real.
No, it is. Your lyrics, everything about your music is very like raw and real. It's
real sad.
It's amazing.
Well, it's what people are
It's
thinking in their
honest.
head and they're not saying out loud.
Yeah.
That's what makes like shows and stuff so cool. When people reach out to me, it's like this song that I've written is like verbatim what I've been going through. And someone's like, I thought I was the only one. And I'm like, no, that's literally what's been going on. And so it's not even just a surface level. Like, I like your song. It's like, I feel like I know you as a person. I know your story. And it's super intense and kind of terrifying, but also like amazing to know.
You're
like,
able to connect with people on a whole different level.
I mean, I'm not going to say like when I was younger, people didn't know what anxiety was, but like,
Yeah.
there was a hot couple of years where like my parents were like, I don't know what the hell is wrong with you. Like, we don't know. And then finally we went to a doctor and he was like, oh, she has anxiety. And I was like, okay, but like what? Like that doesn't help. And getting older and being more self-aware and growing up, I kind of strive to be that person that I needed when I was younger. And so to be able to connect with people like that, that's what makes it worth it.
That's amazing.
Yeah. We still need those reminders as adults.
Yeah.
Yeah. It's
Every day.
it gets worse. Yeah, it's like
Guys, it doesn't get better. You just get older. And your hair falls out.
The
Yeah.
pain stays.
Yeah. Yeah. Sorry.
Wow. When did you start writing songs?
About 2 years ago.
Oh, really? So early on when you were singing, and you were just doing covers and stuff?
I mean, I kind of did like a song here and a song there, but I don't look at it as writing. I never thought like, oh, I want to write songs. It's just like I'm gonna sing because I like to sing. And then there was a point in time where I just felt very disconnected from music, and I had no idea why. And so I wrote a song about my experience in college, and was like, oh, this is what I'm supposed to be doing. And it just all kind of
That's when it kind of clicked for you?
So what song was that one?
Relapse.
Okay.
It's on my YouTube.
Okay, I'll have to check that one out.
It's a
I don't
deep
want to
cut.
say I'm not proud of it, but I produced it and mixed and mastered and shot the video and edited the video and put everything out myself.
That's awesome.
Yeah. I was proud of it, but it's not to the same caliber that my stuff is now. So like I leave it up on YouTube, but
That's awesome.
it's out there for people to listen to. But
Yeah. That's amazing.
people come to my show and they're like, "You didn't sing Relapse," and I'm like, "Oh, I'm so sorry." Like I don't know what to tell you.
Oh.
Yeah, that's good.
So you kind of started. How did you gain? So you kind of started with Vine, right? As far as like that's where you got your big following in the beginning. And how did that start?
So one night I was in my PJs and I asked my little brother, who hated me because it would take like 45 billion takes, to take a Vine of me singing Sage the Gemini's rap song Gas Pedal with a guitar. So it was like, slow down, grab the wall, wiggle like you're trying to make your ass fall off. It was like something stupid. And all of a sudden this person with like 300,000, which was a big number at the time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's still a big number. If you put 300,000 people in a room, that's a bunch of people.
A
Yeah.
lot of
It was
people.
like in the very beginning of Vine, and someone revined it, and then it like went viral, and I started gaining followers, and I was like, "What the hell is happening?" And so I just like kept singing, and people kept liking it, and I was like, "Whoa, this is really weird." Like, I know people had told me they liked my voice, but this is just like, these are strangers. They don't like. I've been ripped apart on the internet, so these people don't have to like me. They don't have to follow me.
Sure.
And that's kind of how that started.
Wow. Was that after college or during college?
20.
You were 20? So you were out of high school. Were you going to college at that point?
I had gone to college for 2 years, and it was this summer that I decided to drop out and then pursue music. And then my anxiety and depression got really bad, and I got sick and couldn't do anything. And then this thing kind of happened. It was really weird how it all just kind of came together.
Wow.
Everything happens for a reason.
I'm still trying to figure that out, what the reason is, but yes.
To help all of us.
Yeah. I mean, when you put that video out and then the guy revined it and you started getting all like, what was that like? Did you just wake up in the morning and you had like 1,000 notifications?
It started late in the night, and it's like Christmas. Like I just kept scrolling and checking, and I was like, "Oh my god, it's at 1,000 likes! Oh my god!" Like this person, like I watched Vines, and so like names that I recognized were commenting on the Vine, and it was like I had met Britney Spears or something. I was like, "Oh my god, Nicholas McGallis! Oh my god, Curtis Lepore! Like this is crazy!"
Oh my god.
It was very exciting, and it's kind of nice to think back on that, because now stuff like that doesn't faze me. I'm like, oh, like whatever, like this person like this, or like I should remember that more, that at one point like that made me happy. Dang.
It's
Not to get all self-reflective or
No.
anything.
No. Yeah.
That's what we love. We
Yeah.
love that. Yeah, because I couldn't imagine putting something on my Instagram and then looking at it overnight and waking up and it's got, thousands upon thousands upon thousands
Like
of people.
Snoop Dogg commented on it, and Miley
Yeah.
Cyrus, like all these random people.
Yeah, and you're just like, what is happening?
It's real.
Did people start reaching out to you at that point?
Like who?
I mean, just because
Like
I would
management.
Yeah, like I mean, I would assume that if you start getting a bunch of people that have interest in you as far as fans go on like social media, like now they have like Instagram influencers and all that noise. But you know what I mean? Like were people reaching out to you?
Just the music, like the television shows, like The Voice, America's Got Talent, American Idol. But like, I wasn't really like, I want to do a music career, because I did funny stuff as well on Vine. And so
it wasn't all music.
yeah, like there was a point where I got really sick and lost my voice, and I couldn't like post anything. So I started posting funny stuff, and people were like, oh, I look back on it and it's not funny. But like, you know, when you're making content for 13, 14-year-olds, they think it's hilarious. And
yeah.
Stuff our son thinks he's 11 and he thinks it's funny. I'm like, God, this is...
this
and then I'll look
terrible.
at how many people are following it and liking it. I'm like, this is insane.
Yeah. Yeah.
So these networks are reaching out to you?
Yeah, I worked with a few like brands and stuff, but never had like a manager or anything, because to me it was just for fun. And then I started making money off of it, and I was like, oh, okay.
Yeah,
and then didn't get serious about music until the end of 2017.
Wow. Mm-hmm. So you're making the Vines, and then from there, that's how you got onto America's Got Talent?
Mm-hmm. They found me, and it was really weird. I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I don't really care, because that was a terrible experience. Everybody that was on my season, it wasn't like they went to like open call and they were like found in a miraculous way. Like they all had a viral video, or, you know, like some kind of way that people, you know, found them. And
so it wasn't just people showing up to like the blind auditions. It was like, yeah, they were obviously reaching out to people that.
I mean, I did a blind audition, but they knew who I was. They told me to come to it, and I did. I lined up in a room full of people, and then they were like, "Hey, we need to ask you about your information," and it was like going to make a video to send to the producers in LA, and I mean, it's TV.
Yeah.
They're always perfect. Like, wow.
I know you said that experience was awful, or for a certain extent, you said it was a little bit not fun. But how does something like that work? Are you just staying in LA? Like, did you have to move from North Carolina to Los Angeles to do that show? Or?
No. So it was the first year that they did everything in New York. So the judges' audition was in Newark. My parents drove me up to that. And then Judgment Week was in New York, and then the live shows were in New York. And it sucked. Like I would do it again, because it helped a lot of people and it brought awareness to a lot of things. But like even as a consumer, before I was on that show, you're always like, oh my God, here comes another drama, sad story about someone's parent with someone's disease and someone's, you know, whatever.
They always have to tie the sob story in to get.
But like everyone that I met, the story was true. And so, well, they find something and they pull on it. And so for me, the audition in front of 3,000 people and 4 celebrities, that was one of the first times I had left my home, other than the audition for like the blind audition.
And having anxiety, that would be.
And they just latched onto this, and they would just ask me questions in my interviews. It was nothing about my music. It was like, so how does your anxiety make you feel? And blah, blah, blah about anxiety. And I was like, I looked at it as an opportunity to have a platform to help spread awareness.
That's amazing.
But just the feedback of people being like, she's faking it, this and that and that and that. And I was like, it crushed me. I took a step back and was just like, this is, it's not fair. I don't edit the television show. I don't, like, they literally verbatim are like, they give you a question and then they kind of like steer you in the direction of how to like say your answer.
What they want you to say.
So you can't sit there and be like, I love music. I've been doing this since I was blah, 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 blah. They're like, okay, how were you diagnosed with anxiety? When I was diagnosed with anxiety, blah, blah, blah. And then you just repeat it. And like,
they lead you.
Yeah.
They ask leading questions.
And it's, I would do it again and again and again, because there was a girl who came out in the parking lot with her aunt after the live audition. And she was like, the girl was like really anxious and could talk. And she's like, this is my niece. She actually had to drop out of college because of this. And we both cried during your audition because this is something she deals with and she feels like she's alone. And I was like, whoa, like I get it.
Yeah.
Like, this is something I need to be vocal about. This is something I need to talk about. And at that moment, I had been open about it, but like I really started opening up about mental health online. And like, that's where a lot of my music comes from. And
Sure, and even to this day, you on your Instagram videos, there's a lot to do with.
because like I have to take a lot of breaks too from social media because it's just. I used to be like so about it for so long and like get stuck in the perpetual feed of. I would get stuck in the perpetual feed of like looking and just scrolling mindlessly, and then I got a new phone for myself for Christmas and just put social media on one phone, and it doesn't have any like.
Wow.
Doesn't have a SIM card or anything. Like I have to be connected to Wi-Fi, and it's like just for work. Like I post, so like, it sucks because I feel like I owe it to those people that follow me to like, you know, still keep up with my social media, but I have to think about myself as well. But I'm pretty open and vulnerable. So like I just put up a video and was like, you guys, like I haven't been on here, but I don't want to be, but I hope you guys are doing okay. And like, I'll keep you updated on tour and stuff like that. And, I actually like I'm going on a rant here, but I'm just going to keep going. So,
Please do.
So, I've been really stressed out with, you know, going on tour, and I like went to New York and then my flight got canceled, and I don't fly very well and I have to take medication to fly. So we were on the runway for 3 hours due to bad weather.
Like weather or something.
And he got out. He got out 15 minutes after us, but they didn't let us go. We were like in line to take off. And then they were like, the weather's too bad, we have to wait it out. So we waited it out for 3 hours, and I have to take this medication. So I'm asleep, and I wake up and I'm like, oh, we're here. No, we're still in New York. So I did that about 3 times. And then I wake up and they're like, you guys, we're gonna go back to the gate. And so they were trying to figure out, at this point, it wasn't a weather issue. It was, they like pilots and the crew can only work so long. So they would have to stop in Denver, switch crews, and then continue on into California. And then midnight came around and they were like, no, we're calling it, like this flight's canceled. And I was so just like, I had like Dramamine in my system and anxiety meds. And I was like, what the fuck?
Yes.
And so I just like, I booked I don't know if you guys have ever flown Delta One, but it's like the seats that recline into a bed.
Oh, wow.
There was like 2 seats left on this like sky bus, and then there was like 2 middle seats in the back, and I was like, oh hell no, I will spend upwards of $2,000 on a ticket just to get my ass out of here. And I spent the whole night. I bought a Red Bull from the international. There's only one part of the airport that stays open. It's the international, like you know, where the international flights come from. So I got a Monster. I sat on the floor and I played video games on my dying phone, and then
Nice.
I eventually like got home, and that was really draining. And then I just got into this new relationship, and I'm like, I'm leaving for a month, and that's really stressful. And then my parents just got separated, and dealing with like taking care of my parents. And I mean, what, you know, 20-something-year-old doesn't worry about their future and like money. And so, not last night, the night before, I just cried so hard in my shirt. Like I just like pulled over my face and was just like bawling. And then I was just like, I feel like people need to know about this. So I just like took a picture of it.
Yeah.
It was just like me sitting on the couch like this, and then like my eyes are like so swollen, and you can see all of like the snot and stuff on my shirt. And I'm just like, this is what growing up looks like. It doesn't get easier. Like we don't know what's going on. It's not like you turn 21, 22 and you're like, I know what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think that was kind of like the scariest thing for me, is realizing my parents had no idea what they were doing, and they still don't, and they're not superhuman.
Yeah.
And then I realized that I don't know what I'm doing, and I'm not superhuman. And I really want to keep that kind of feel on my social media, because I think that's important, because we have this idea of like polished makeup, edited photos, like look how pretty this is. And like, that's really nice to look at. But then you start looking through your feed and you're like, wow, my life is shit. I'm not going to Tahiti. I'm not fucking.
Yeah.
Like, I don't look like that when I wake up. I'm like, I guarantee you that girl doesn't look like that when she wakes up either.
No.
I think that's kind of what sparked the no makeup thing too. It's like, one, I have this conspiracy theory that the makeup companies are the reason why I have dark circles. It might also be because I stress all the time, but I stopped wearing makeup. And I mean, they're still there kind of.
You look great.
But like they went away, and like my breakouts rarely ever happen anymore. And like my skin just feels like very like breathable. And I was wearing makeup because I felt like I needed to wear it. The people that like love doing like makeup tutorials and stuff like that, I think it's amazing. Yeah. But like, it's amazing. It's an art. And like for people that genuinely love wearing makeup, I love that. But for me, I was like, I'm literally doing this for everybody but myself.
Yeah.
And so like, I've really gone into this is me. This is my vulnerability, and so for my last tour, I didn't wear any makeup, and I wore sweatpants and t-shirts the whole tour, and
I love that.
It was great because like
so
I was
cool.
comfy. I wasn't like in these high heels, like maneuvering. I was like dancing around with fans and stuff, and that's aside from the mental health, also just really just like be yourself. For so long, I didn't know who I was, what I wanted to be, and then I just kind of found it along the way.
I think that's something a lot of artists struggle with in the beginning, is where you're just trying to find your voice, and you have so many influences that you're almost kind of trying to mimic, but you could only be the best you that there is, because there's only you. And like, if you're trying to do what this person's doing, they're already doing it better than you because that's them.
Yeah.
But you like them, so you want to kind of take pieces of that, but it's really hard to find yourself and find where you belong and what you should be doing. And I think a lot of people struggle with that, especially with social media. If you're scrolling through your feed and no one's posting pictures of themselves crying.
No.
Or
Or
if you
they're doing it and they want it like, look at me in the
attention.
hospital.
Yes.
But it's never like real.
Yeah.
It's like, I'm my leg in a cast, and then it's just so people could be like, oh, what happened?
And that's a hard line to walk, because I want people to know that like I break down. I don't want pity though. I don't need pity.
No.
I'm a strong person, but I break down, and that's what I want people to see. Like, I don't need someone to be like, are you okay? Things will get better. I know they'll get better, but right now I'm crying, and I need you to know that it's okay to cry and things will get better.
Yeah.
I love crying.
I love that whole philosophy is amazing.
I thought you were about to be like, I love that. But no, I love crying. I love crying.
Yeah.
I cried this morning.
Yes.
I cried twice yesterday. But my thing is, okay, Anna, you're allowed to cry and you're allowed to be upset. But as soon as you're done, you have to do something to alleviate why you were crying. Like, say you're stressed out about bills and then you cry. It's like, okay, I'm done crying. Go pay your bills, or go work, or go do something like that. Like, I think people should cry as much as they possibly can. It's such a relief. Yeah. It's you just feel good thinking about it. So you're like crying. It's just so, I mean, like, it kills my head. My eyes get puffy. But then when I'm done, I'm like, because you keep that like energy bottled up for so long. And like being a creative, I have just so much like leaking out of my pores and my armpits and all this stuff that it's like, I got to cry more than the normal human being. But I'm definitely like, just cry. It's okay. Just let it out. Be vulnerable. Be a human. No one cares. And if they do care, we're all going to be dead in 100 years. So like, I mean, if you think, I know that's kind of bleak, but if you think about it like that, it's like, okay, so Susan thought it was weird that I was crying. We're both going to be dead one day, and it won't matter.
Yeah. A therapist said this morning, to reply to people's bad comments, you just say, so? And I was like, yeah, that's amazing.
Your point.
And then it makes them feel like, oh.
Yeah.
They don't know what to say. So I liked that. So. Like,
You went to therapy this morning?
I did.
I'm so jealous.
I know. It's good. And we also discovered there's you can do therapy on the web. So like on your phone. Yeah. It's amazing.
I have a teleconference with my therapist sometime this week. So.
Oh yeah.
We do it like monthly.
Yeah.
It's amazing.
Yeah.
I actually, this is like left field, but my lawyer, he said as soon as he got married, he started going to couples counseling. There was nothing wrong with their marriage, but like taught him how to communicate on a whole different level. And like,
We go.
We do that every Wednesday.
yeah.
And it helps.
Like,
because-
why not start before something would even happen?
Yeah. And
like,
that's when I get to cry.
yeah, I just do it alone in my closet.
I do it everywhere, but yeah, it's good.
It took until I was a couple months ago, years old, to realize that I have OCD.
Oh, yeah.
Because I find like there were all these like weird things in my head that I was not comfortable verbalizing. And so once I finally got comfortable with my therapist, I was like, I'm like having these thoughts and like this shit is happening. She was like, oh, well, like you have like obsessive tendencies. And I was like,
Yeah.
oh, I'm not sick. Like not a sicko.
Yeah.
Like, you know,
Right.
like I'm not a,
You're not atypical. or
Yeah,
whatever.
yeah. I was thinking. I just watched. What is that documentary? It's not. Is it Abducted in Plain Sight?
Oh, Taken in Plain Sight. That about the girl that was.
Taken by her family friend.
Yeah.
I was like, I always like think about that guy and how weird he is. I'm like, oh my god, what if that's me? Like having all these like
Yeah.
weird thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah,
Have
he
you
got-
not seen it?
No, I fall asleep and he just watches documentaries.
It's crazy. Yeah.
It's
where
also very so.
he manipulates his whole family. He takes their daughter and like he has an affair with the wife and
Oh, isn't that a
and the
show?
husband. Like it gets. It's
Yeah.
a documentary.
But that was like
It's
a
real
British-
feels
life.
like a show.
Yeah.
It's real life.
But that was like a British show we watched though too, right? Similar, where the guy takes the kid and I don't know.
No, this one is way
Real.
messed up.
No,
like
it's like horrifying.
I mean,
This
I
guy
would
is
love
like,
to have the finessing skills that like his name's Robert Birchtold or some Birchtold is his
yeah,
last name.
Birchtold, yeah.
Like he manipulated
an entire family.
an entire family and like he took the little girl to Mexico for a vacation and it took the family 5 days to call the police. They're like, no, he's coming back. He's coming back. I was like, oh, hell no. Like
Yeah.
5 hours and I'd
Yeah.
be calling the police.
Yes.
Like they were like, oh, we don't want to start any trouble. I'm like, he must have said some real swift,
He was
crafty stuff.
Yeah, he must have been a smooth talker. Because he ended up having an affair with the wife, and then he ends up like
hooking up with the
hooking
dad.
up with the dad.
Wow.
And like holding it all against them. Like
Yeah.
I'm gonna like put this out because I think they were like church members.
Yeah, they met at church.
Yeah.
and they were gonna
Got
press
crazy.
charges, and then he held that above their head, like, well, I'm gonna tell people that like you slept with me, blah blah blah. And, like, I, not to talk down on the family, but it's really weird watching the wife recall the affair because her eyes light up.
Yeah, she's like still like in love with him. It's weird.
She's like, and from that moment on, I had a 9-month affair with Birchtold, and just like, just is like in it reminiscing, and I'm
yeah.
like, what is
Wow.
like the whole entire time? Like you think it gets worse, and then it just keeps going and going and going and going, and you're like, oh my god.
Anything is possible.
Anything is possible. My kids are gonna be on leashes. They're gonna be homeschooled.
Oh yeah, we tried that. We
Yeah.
tried that,
We tried the leash.
but they like fall back.
I
it's
bought
more of a backpack leash.
Yeah. I bought a backpack leash for my boyfriend so he could, because I like, not for him to so I wear it. I wear it. And
that's
he's like this
amazing.
big, like 6'1", like used to be football player. And so he holds it. Like I like to run away in crowds and stuff. And so he just
Yeah.
holds it. And we actually went to Santa Monica on a Saturday. So like the pier was really busy and stuff
Yeah.
like that. And we got the nastiest looks, just like, and he would do this thing where he'd like let me go a little bit, and then he'd be like, "Come here," and like pull me over. Like it's all like we're both in on
yeah,
it, but
yeah.
it looks like a
cute.
really weird like submissive dominant
Yeah.
thing, and
sounds-
like I was playing into it, and I like had my head down and was like not saying anything, and he's like, "Sorry, like just push her out of the way," like talking to people, and like just. He would like let me run a little bit and then just yank me. I know that's not the intended purpose.
No,
but it
that's
was-
amazing.
That's so
That's
funny.
so good.
That would make
Oh.
an amazing like skit.
People,
Yeah.
and it's a lot of like people visiting from overseas too, and they're like, you can hear them like talking their language. They're like, what?
Is this normal in America?
This is like some normal thing.
It is here.
Yeah. I mean, there's websites for that too. So, yeah.
I guess.
So that's so confidently. There are websites for that. Okay.
Oh
I
my.
feel like I lost on my teeth.
Probably. That's okay. When you were first getting, you were talking about with America's Got Talent, you're getting people talking trash to you and stuff. Was that all like online and stuff?
Yeah, nobody said it to my face.
No, but like, how did you like? How do you get over that? Like,
You cry.
do you still see like haters? Like, does
Oh
that still,
yes,
like bug you?
but now
Like,
no.
Does it hurt? Like,
No,
when they-
no.
you don't
I
care
have
anymore?
been called everything. There was a period of time where I gained a bunch of weight, and everybody kept asking me what my due date was, and
Oh, geez.
like, you could not say something to me that I haven't heard. And like, I don't care. You say some shit about my family, though.
Yeah.
I don't care if I've heard it before or not. Like, I'll find your IP address. I'll find your address. I'll come to your house and give you a stern talking to, because that's as far as I will go. I don't want to get arrested, but like, I don't care.
Yeah.
You're behind a computer screen. Like, if someone came up to, I've never had someone come up to my face and say like, you suck, this and that. I did have somebody smash my car
Whoa.
mirror.
That's awful.
I know.
At a show?
No, I was at a friend's house, and an ex-friend of mine was having a conversation with this guy who's just like a dumb bumpkin from North Carolina. They're not all dumb. I love North Carolina. He was like, oh, that Anna girl, yeah, I fucking hate her, blah, blah, blah. Like, she's so stupid. And then like, my ex-friend ended up telling him that I was at a mutual friend of theirs house. And then all of a sudden, like, I'm upstairs, and one of the brothers comes up and is like, yo, I just heard a smash outside and a car run off. And like, I walk outside and my mirror is gone. And I was like, what did I do? Like, I used to be a little mouthy, but I was like, dang.
Still,
Yeah.
to ruin your car.
It's okay. I had another mirror on the other side.
You
my
only need
gosh.
one.
Yeah. Well,
Jeez.
they need to go home and punch a punching bag or something.
Yeah.
Look, I still don't, to this day, don't understand that one. But the comments, that they don't get to me. It's been 5 years.
Yeah.
Like, what do you? If you could find something that gets under my skin, I'll give it to you. Because like at this point, like,
Yeah, you've seen it all.
yeah,
When did you play your first show?
last year.
Do you remember the show? Like,
I hope so.
can you talk about it?
Do you remember it? No.
I don't.
Can I talk about it? Not allowed to. So I did 3 soft shows with my own music. One at Shuba's Tavern in Chicago, which is really cool because my brother lives in Chicago, so we got to come to that.
And that was your very, very first show you ever did?
Yeah, that was the first one.
And were you nervous?
I was nervous because, like any artist, you're like, "Oh my God, is the room gonna be full?"
Yeah.
Like, now I don't give a shit about that stuff. I've played really small shows. I've played shows where people are sitting down, full of like old people. Like, I've got so much more to grow. But like this first and the last tour that I just went on, I learned a lot about what you should care about and what you should not care about, how to work a room, and like I'm only going to get better from there, which I think is just so cool. And what makes me really excited about this tour for Nash. No,
Yeah.
for this tour with Nash.
Yeah.
But so the first one was at Shuba's, and it was so cool. Like people were singing my lyrics, and I was just like, okay. Like I had
So
another like
at your first show, people were singing along to your songs.
yeah,
That's amazing.
It was just another like moment where I'm like, this is what I'm supposed to be doing.
Yeah.
And then I did the New York show at Mercury Lounge, which I will not be going back to. That one was even bigger, it was even better. I had my mom, like my family came up because they're in North Carolina, so they just like drove up. That was amazing. And then I had the biggest show at Moroccan Lounge in
My brother just played there.
LA. Really?
Yeah.
It's apparently like got really good sound. I mean, I was on the other side of it, so I couldn't really tell, but like that was the biggest one. Like had all my friends come out, and I was so nervous for so long to play shows, and just those 3 soft shows was like, okay, like that what are you afraid of? You're an idiot. Just do it. And so now it's you just kind of have to like get your foot in the door, and then you're fine.
Yeah.
But it was terrifying. It was really terrifying.
Yeah.
I was like, am I going to remember the lyrics? How do I interact with people? I can't make eye contact with people. So like, where do I look? What do I wear? And I've had a really good support system, family-wise, also like team-wise, from my managers and my bandmates. Like, it's really a big team effort. It's not just like me going to shows. I've got, that is so rude. Oh, it's my brother calling. Sorry.
Aw, you can say hi.
You can answer. It's cool.
No. He's probably never mind.
Hi,
I was gonna say,
brother.
he's calling me probably for money. No, his ears were probably burning. I didn't know that was on. I apologize.
I know.
That's what we love about this is it could just be raw and real and whatever.
Yeah.
We'll just leave it in.
Well,
Should I answered the call? I love the iWatch, but I don't like use it. I just like wearing it, and it tells me like when the air is bad.
oh.
And then there's the walkie-talkie feature I do with my boyfriend.
Oh, that's cool.
And then like I'm very competitive, and so is he, and so like it has like the activity meter. So if
like
you're like walking or
stuff.
running,
Yeah.
yeah. And so I'll turn mine on when he turns his on. I'm like, what are you at? How many calories have you burned? It's a pretty cool device. I don't use it to its extent, but I forget that I don't have any of my notifications on.
That's
Oh,
good.
yeah.
And
It'd probably just be going off all day.
They've been turned off for a long time, but no, it's really cool. That was a side thing. What was I saying?
Oh, you have a
them
big
rock.
team.
Yeah.
Oh, you like. I might stand up and sing the songs, but like without the people, selling my merch, coordinating everything, playing music for me, like I wouldn't do it. If it was just me by myself, I wouldn't do it.
Really?
So like having a good team, like I'm nothing without my team, and like that, I don't think they get enough credit. So yeah. I'm trying to say that loud enough so Trevor can hear it.
Hey, Trevor. Hey, Daisy.
Oh, he's way in his phone. When he's in his phone, there is no talking to him. Coke Zero. Coke Zero. Too slow. I had a guitarist on the last run who unfortunately couldn't make it because he's a musical director for this girl who's like on tour with the Vamps, which is like dope.
Wow.
They're like off in the UK.
That is really cool.
But he said he was in Ireland one time, and this guy was doing like promotional stuff for Coke Zero, and he was like handing them out and just like dead in the face and was like, Coke Zero, same great taste, zero sugar, and like that was the whole thing for tour, and it's just,
It is delicious.
the vanilla kind. Not to get off on another tangent, but like
sorry.
I just bought a whole case of the Coke Zero vanilla kind, and
Love
it is
it.
life changing.
I like the vanilla cherry one too.
I can't find them in Coke Zero though.
They have. I've only seen it on like
At the movie
the
theater, like
freestyle
the-
machines.
You
where
gotta buy Coke Zero cherry. And you gotta buy Coke Zero vanilla
And
and
then
put
mix
them. Actually, when I was in New York, one of my A&Rs did that exact thing. There was no like cherry vanilla Coke, so he bought a cherry Coke and a vanilla Coke and poured it into the same cup.
That's amazing. Yeah, the freestyle machine is pretty.
Anything is
Yeah.
possible.
It is.
Yeah. So good.
So this tour you're on now, this is your second tour that you've ever done?
Second tour ever.
When you started booking the first tour, were you already signed to a label at that point? And like, tell me about getting picked up by a record label. How did that all kind of happen?
Don't make that face.
Looking at Trevor.
Are you allowed to tell a story?
Oh, I'm allowed to say whatever I want, but I'm supposed to play nice. No. Working with a label has been very interesting.
But how did they find you? Like, how did you get picked up by the label?
I Spy? No. I wrote a song called Boys Like You, and it went organically viral.
Yeah, I love that song too.
And then labels started reaching out to me, and I've been friends with two A&Rs at Atlantic for about 4 or 5 years, and they both were kind of like, hey, come to this like label in the Atlantic umbrella, and like we'll take care of you. And it was kind of a no-brainer. I was like, I know these guys, I love these guys, I'm just gonna go where I know. Like, you don't want to
Sure.
get lost in this big like Columbia or Capitol or Republic. And like, while that seems nice, they've got like Ariana Grande, Justin Bieber, like all these big names. Like,
Yeah.
you're not going to be a priority.
Right.
And so I went with who I know, and it's been difficult because coming from a place where I've been able to do everything on my own, put out music when I want to, and now being on a schedule and a regiment, it's been like hard getting used to that. I'm very, very stubborn, but I've learned a lot. Like, I have shaped as an artist a tremendous amount in a year, and I'm very thankful for that opportunity, because I would not be who I am and where I am without that opportunity. So as much as I'm like, oh yeah, the label, I can't put out my stuff yet, like, it's just a learning process.
Right.
And I wouldn't change it for the world.
But you knew them going into it, which is probably a huge,
It was very comforting.
Yeah, exactly.
Because I'm like, oh, Chris and Ian, I know them. Like,
so
okay.
you're not having to go through the courting process, or did you do that a little bit? Like you went
A little
and chatted
bit.
with Capital and with.
But they were just like, it's just such like vacant bullshit conversations. Like,
Template.
it's like, what are you doing? What are your dreams and visions? I'm like, I know you follow me on Instagram because that's how you found me, or you follow me on this or this or that. You know what I'm doing.
Yeah.
And I said, I feel so bad. But I had a conversation with, I don't remember what record label, but some A&R at a record label. And she was like, so what are you doing? I was like, listen, I moved to LA to get a pub deal, write music, and be an artist. Mm-hmm. I was just like, this was probably like the 4th or 5th call. And I was just like, so tired. I don't know any other, okay, beat around the bush. Mm-hmm. I was going to say something else. I was so tired of beating around the bush. I was like, look, if you're interested, that's great. If not, I'm going to be doing this whether you're here or not.
Yeah.
Nice.
And here I am with a record deal and a pub deal. And like, yeah, that stuff's cool. But aside, I'm doing what I love and what I want to do. And like, I will always do that. And so that was, it was a very interesting time because I didn't like, I had labels reach out to me before, but I didn't really know what it entailed.
Yeah.
And now I do a little bit, like tiny little bit, like the tip of the iceberg. So like the iceberg is like this far out and I know like that much.
Yeah. Well, that's why you have Trevor and people go to school for that stuff.
You have people on your side that can vouch for you.
Oh yeah, Trevor's on my side. That's for sure. I actually switched over management in February and felt like a little lost puppy. I had to part ways with my manager. He just had a really big like artist project on his plate, and like I respect it. It's like, hey, you know, like I don't have time. You need someone who can give you more time.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And then I was taking a couple meetings, and then I took a meeting with my now managers, Trevor and Jono, and over the phone. It was just like a 30-minute, like, you know, what are you doing? Blah, blah, blah. What are you looking for in a manager? And then that was it. And every day for a week, when I woke up, there was a text from Trevor. just checking in. And like most people would be like, oh, that's like so annoying. Like, ew, that's gross. And I was like, I absolutely love this. I want to be somebody's priority. I want to be somebody's thought when they wake up. I want to be what somebody's thinking about before they go to sleep. Like, I want someone to fully believe in my project the way I do, because I hadn't had that. And so we did this like preliminary, like interim 3-month thing. And within the first 2 days, when Trevor agreed to be my tour manager for my last tour because things got messed up, I was like, oh, these guys believe in me. No one has to do that. A day-to-day manager is not a tour manager.
Yeah.
Tour manager
It's
is like in the trenches, and it sucks. And so he not only was doing that, but also being a day-to-day manager. And
That's
like,
amazing.
it was funny because like, normally like tour managers are like the punishers. Are like, okay, you have to be like in the lobby at this time. And I'd beat all of them down, and it'd be like 15 minutes. And then I'd like look at my watch and be like, Trevor, and he goes, I was upstairs doing emails for you. And I was like, I know, you're right. That's why I'm not mad. But like, just to be able to find someone like, or I guess find a team, find people to just really believe in me is like, it's just really cool, because I've never had that. And it just, I keep getting these like second, third, fourth wins of like encouragement, because I'll get low and be like, oh, I haven't put anything out. And then, oh, I like had to part ways with my manager. And like, then you find people like Trevor and they are like, nah, you're going to go somewhere. This is going to go somewhere. And it's like, okay, you're right. Even if I don't believe it, you're right. Like I got it.
That's awesome. And do you well, I know you were talking earlier off this podcast about how you have a new song coming out, a new video. Do you have is that a part of a new record, or what's the next step?
So
for you
that
after
is
this
a
tour?
feature with Lost Kings. They are a like DJ producer duo.
Okay.
So that song was pitched. They were looking for a singer on it, and my publisher was like, dude, this is going to be a hit. It's radio. Cut it. And I was like, Then I got the flu. And I was on the couch for a week, not talking, not working. Then I went and cut vocals, and I was like, they're not going to like this. And I sent in the demo, and they were like, wow, like she killed it. We love it. We want her on it. Tweaked a few things, went in the studio with the Lost Kings guys, Nick and Rob, and finished out the song, and then just shot a music video. I'm not going to give too much away, but it is hilarious. It's such a twisted version. It's like, it's just like not conventional, but it's really cool. I got to act.
That's cool.
And I might switch professions. No, not really. But it was really cool. It has to do with a funeral. So
that's awesome.
But in a funny way, which is weird. So you'll just have to.
We'll have to check it out
just
when it
have
comes
to see.
out. And then, are you working on a new record, or what? Are you touring on a record?
I write every day.
Yeah.
Tentatively, there is a song that I wrote called "If I'm Being Honest" that will be released by the end of the summer.
Okay.
So the date, I have no idea. And that's not me lying. I have no idea. I wish I knew, because then I'd be shouting it from the rooftops like, wait till July 24th. But we'll see. But I'm super excited about it. The touring has definitely taken the priority spot.
Sure.
And I don't mind it, because I love touring, and like, I mean, having a fan base for so long, and they're literally just numbers on a screen, and now they're people driving upwards of 6 hours, 8 hours to come see me. Like, oh, I'll tour all day. I'll tour. I'll sing Amazing Grace and the ABCs. Like, if it means meeting these people, and then I'll write. But they're kind of going in tandem. Like, between my tour and then this tour, I wrote a lot, and so I'm just trying to do it all.
Very cool. Very cool. The last question we really have, unless you have something else, is go ahead.
Oh, I could just talk for hours with you. Like,
I know. So I was thinking the same thing, and I'm like, I don't want to kill your voice before your show, and that's. But
I've got warm-ups and throat coat tea. It's cool.
do you have any advice for aspiring artists?
Don't do it. No, I'm just kidding. Sorry.
No.
It just looks so good. A lot of times, that is so annoying.
Yeah.
I mean,
and that gives me anxiety.
I mean, I hope those people are okay, but that is so annoying. A lot of times people ask me, like, how do you get the courage to post something on social media? How do you get the courage to do this or that? And I'm like, I don't do it for anybody but myself. And I would say, do something first and foremost for yourself. If you want to sing, do it because you want to sing. If you want to play guitar, do it because you want to play guitar. Do any kind of instrument, any kind of singing, honestly, anything, do it for yourself. Because that's when it's the most genuine. Like, people are stupid, but people will sniff out bullshit in a second. Like, if you're trying to put on a front, they will know.
Right,
they won't gravitate towards it. And like, I've learned that the hard way, trying to be somebody I'm not, trying to put out music that is not me. Like, people don't listen to it. And a lot of people are like, oh, how do you get views, and how do you get this, and how do you get that? And I was like, that's nice. I remember when people didn't look at my stuff, and I really wanted that. But even when I was smaller and before the viral Vine, I did it because I loved it. And that's where you have to start. And when you really do something because you love it, everything else falls into place.
That's beautiful.
Yeah, I love that.
Honestly, I kind of lost where I was and tried to loop it back around.
No, it was like, I was like,
perfect.
this is like a perfect quote right here. Yeah.
I was like going this way, and then I was like, oh, something shiny. And I was like, oh no, bring it back, bring it back, bring it back.